Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Resourceful Marcus. So in this video I'm going to show you something I need to try to fix, and there's going to be a little bit of a modification involved in fixing this. So here we have the Rowenta 1550 watt clothes steamer, dry cleaner for your clothes. Okay, so what happened is I believe I either dropped this or I might have tripped over it with the hose hooked to it. Anyways, this fitting here that your hose connects to with your wand for your steam has, I'm gonna have to forgive me for the shakiness. I'm gonna show you what I mean here. So where did I put that fitting now? Bear with me for a moment here. I gotta find this fitting where I just put that. Oh, right here. Alright. So this fitting here, sorry for the shakiness. I'm a one-man operation with the camera work. I apologize. This fitting here, there's a couple of screws on the inside that would hold this fitting in place. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this. You don't have to do this. This is what I'm going to do. I'm just showing you an easy way to try to do this, okay? Because there's all kinds of screws. If you flip this over, you get into how you got to take this apart, all these various screws. I don't want to get into that. I'm trying to be resourceful and do this the simplest way possible. So, that being said, this fitting here, what I'm going to attempt to do with this fitting is I'm going to JB weld it. JB weld, I got the high heat one here. This is a JB weld. You can get this at Home Hardware, Home Depot, Rona, Princess Auto. And what it is, JB weld comes in various forms. It's an epoxy, it's what it is. So what I did here is I had to mark with a marker, with a magic marker here and here, so that I get this sitting back on there the right way. Okay, and we're gonna hope that the epoxy is gonna hold that in place. Now, another problem. Okay, the tube came off. There's a tube here that goes on this part, on the inside in here. Like I said, I'm not gonna, I don't want to get into taking this apart. That's not gonna happen. I'm just trying to do this the easiest way possible. Anyways, there's the tube in here. You have your container that holds the water that drops down, heats up, comes through the tube. That there's a clip in there that you got to squeeze with a pair of pliers to get this rubber. I don't know if you can see that rubber tube. I have to get that back on here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put the tube on right now because I have to put the JB weld to weld this, to fuse this back on. Alright? Now, to get that tube back on after the JB weld cures, I'm probably going to let it cure for, I don't know, It tells you 5, 6 hours. It actually fully cures in 24 hours, JB Weld. With temperature, humidity, all that stuff. Anyways, it dries. I might let it sit 48 hours. We'll see what happens. So anyways, what I'm going to do, you might not have this tool at home. This is called a hole saw. Okay, I'm going to go with a 2-inch hole saw. I'm going to drill a hole. I'm going to drill a hole in this back part here. The tube's over here. Okay, that tube that I need to get back on this fitting afterwards. And there's a clamp on that tube. And the only way you'd be able to get at that is you'd have to flip this over, take a bunch of the screws. I don't want to get into that, like I told you already. I'm not getting into that. I'm just trying to show you the easiest way you can do this. This is how I'm doing it. You can take what you like from the video, whatever, okay? You don't have to do it this way. This is how I'm doing it. I'm just showing you. Anyways, I'm going to take my cordless drill. And I'm going to put the hole saw in there. Tighten this up. Gotta be careful when you're using this stuff, alright? So, there's that tube in there. Now, what I need to do first of all is swing this back around, and I suggest getting in there with a flashlight and looking in there, making sure where I'm gonna drill that I'm not gonna hit any wires or anything. So on this unit here, I'm good. There's no wires in the way. Now I'm gonna have to watch that tube. I'm gonna put my finger to hold it down, so I don't put a hole in that rubber tube. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to hold that down like that with my finger. That tube. Turn this around again now. Actually, what I should do is take... just a minute here. Sorry for the shaky camera work. Thanks for watching, subscribing, like, comment, share. I appreciate it very much, everyone. Alright. Now I'm trying to get this camera to behave on the tripod so you can see what I'm gonna do here. Alright, so I'm gonna take this hole saw with my drill. I don't got my safety glasses right now, but I suggest wearing a pair of safety glasses because you could get something in your eye. I'm just gonna go for her. Alright, now I'm taking a 2-inch hole saw and I'm modifying this part so I can get in here later on after this part here that I put on with the JB weld. After it's bonded, after I drill this hole, I'll show you. I'm going to drill the hole. Okay, just kind of guesstimating here. See, that'll right there, and I'm going to go for it. And I gotta watch it I don't get that end of that drill in my finger. I don't want to get it into my finger. That wouldn't be good. Almost through. We're through. We're golden. I'll get that part out after. Usually what I do is take a pair. Actually, I'll get this piece out now. Take a pair of channel locks. And now I'm going to have to shop back that before I use it because when I drilled I got some debris in here where your water goes in, so you're going to want to take your vacuum and you're going to want to vacuum that out so you don't get that in your line that has your wand on it for your steam to come out for your clothes. Alright, so now you can see the tube here. See the tube? And what I'll be able to do is spin this around like this. And I'll be able to get in there with a pair of channel locks or needle nose. That looks a little shitty. I'm going to have to clean that edge up. I'll clean that up. I'm going to vacuum some of this stuff up now. That looks a little shitty, right? It looks a little poopy, but you ain't going to see that anyways. Just bear with me for a moment. I got to get a portable vacuum and I'm going to vacuum some of that plastic from when I drilled with the hole saw. Be right back. Thank you for your patience. I'm back. Just going to fire this portable vacuum up here and I'm going to suck some of that plastic out of there now. Alright, portable vacuum, sorry for the noise. So I just sucked some of that plastic debris out of here where your container goes that holds your water, because you don't want that to go down. I'm probably going to end up using my shop vac if this works out, okay? God willing, it will work out. Now, so we got that modified so that I can get in there to get that tube on there. I'm even thinking of just, you know, I'm almost thinking of going for it and just putting her on there, getting her on there. Yeah, that clamp's going to be a little bit tricky to go on there, I would say. A little bit tricky. Tricky. And I see that tube's like an S tube. That's what it is. It's an S tube. Anyways, yeah, I would have to get that lined up the right way because I used a magic marker. I'm just trying to show you here what I'm doing. Turn it around now. What I'm doing is I got a line there and I got a line there with a magic marker. I might wing it. Yeah. I'm opting to, I'm gonna opt to put that on first, let the epoxy cure, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so I already cleaned around here earlier. I wiped this with a little bit of water and vinegar, sprayed it, and just kind of sure that's clean. Now what we need to do is get into the JB weld. That's what we need to do. Let's see if I can find. Don't think I have any Q-tips. Just bear with me for one moment, okay? I have to pause the video again. Sorry, thank you. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, I had to pause the video for I lucked out and I found the Q-tip. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of the epoxy on this part here. Okay, on the face of this, I'm going to put some of the JB weld on here. And I'm going to put it on this part. That needs to be attached back on there. I suggest you take a marker after you get it where it needs to be on. Okay. That's what I did. I marked it. Like that. And then I'm going to use some tape. And I better get a couple of pieces of tape ready because I'll for sure get one piece ready. Because I'm going to need that to kind of hold that in place. Hopefully that's going to hold that in place. I might hold it by hand for a few minutes here. Anyways, what I need now is a piece of cardboard. Something. Oh, here we go. This will work. Alright. A piece of paper here. And I'm going to get this JB weld. Now, make sure that that tube that goes on here, make sure it's kind of tucked out of the way, because when you put your JB weld on there, you don't want it to go on that tube, and then your tube is stuck, right? Actually, what I'm gonna probably do is get that tube to come out here more, since I modified it. There we go. See what I did? What I did is I popped that tube out a little bit, see? Okay, now it's out of the way for when I put this on. Alright. That baby on there. Should be right there, I can feel it. Alright. Time to get this cap off. There, it came off easy, sometimes it don't. And we're going to do this JB weld. Now this one in here, you can buy it in a tube where it's individual. There's two different components, the hardener and the other component that goes with the hardener. Anyways, when you squeeze this out, it's got the double like this, where you just give her a squeeze here, squeeze them onto the paper like that. As you can see, should be more than enough. Now, make sure you put your end cap back on there. And you want to make sure that everything is clean. First, you got to mix this up, okay? We got to mix this up. Mix it up, and it's going to turn like this one. It turns like a gray color. This one's also can withstand high heat. There's different ones you can get. You can get one that's like it's got like aluminum in it. This is an epoxy. That's what this is. JB weld. Alright, now I'm going to get some of that, and I'm going to get it on here really good where those screws would hold this. And this stuff does start to set up kind of, it gets tacky pretty fast. believe it or not. It does get tacky pretty fast, so you gotta work with it. You gotta get it on there. Okay, I got it on there now. Now I gotta get it on this part. Let's get it on there nice. I'm using a Q-tip, okay? As you can see, I'm using a Q-tip, and I'm gonna get it on here nice. Hose goes, and that's kind of, I don't want to do that because then that hose won't go on the right way. Just trying to get that off there. Off there. I have to wipe that. It should be alright. Getting a little bit on my hands. Getting a little bit on my hands, which I don't want to do. Careful that you don't get it on your hands, alright? Okay, now I got the magic marker line and a magic marker line there. There we go. I'll hold it for a few minutes here. And then hopefully that's going to work. I think it was a pretty simple fix. I don't know if what you think. That's up to you. Whether you liked what I showed. That's the simplest way for me to do it. I mean, for you, there could be another way. That's up to you. I'm just trying to show you an easy way to hopefully fix this, because this was a really nice unit. This unit's I've had for several years. And then I'm going to take some tape. Give it a few more minutes here because it's still moving around.